Freeloaders. I'm Mike Papa Foxtrot.
And I am 3T.
Freeloaders is a regular look at what is or has been free to download from the PlayStation Network. We download the games and give them a play and see if they're worth the download, bandwidth and time.
This time we're looking at Goat Simulator, a third-person, or should that be goat, video game where the player controls a goat aimed at doing as much damage as possible around an open-world map without any larger goals. The game, initially developed as a joke prototype, was released for Microsoft Windows in April 2014 and subsequently ported for Linux, OS X, Android and iOS later that same year. Versions for Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS3 and PS4 were later released in August 2015 and April 2015, and most recently it's been released on the Nintendo Switch from January 2019. These are our first impressions. So, when you saw Goat Simulator was one of the options, what was your thinking behind this decision?
Well, as I think you are aware, I thought, is he having a stroke? Has he lost his mind? Has he gone mad?
Well, yeah. It was the decision really came down to, I think, we know the other game. Most months we would probably have chosen the other game because the other game choice this month, and we would probably urge you to download it as well because, you know, if you've got the option,
or at least add it to your library.
Add it to your library, which is what I've done. But the Uncharted collection is obviously a good thing to be able to have access to. But what it came down to was the message that I sent you was Uncharted equals value for money, but Goat Simulator equals value for funny. And that seemed to be the deciding factor because we just want to have fun.
I think it took me 48 hours before I answered you.
yeah. But it has been Christmas and New Year, so.
Well, also there was a moment of is he all right? What's wrong with him? And then I went off and looked because I genuinely was thinking, is he taking the pee? Is there something? and then when I went to the PlayStation, I went, no, it is Goat Simulator. So that's yeah. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's not something that I think that we would do normally. So I mean, like you said, normally we would go Uncharted. I mean, again, I have played some Uncharted games in the past, whereas I have never played a simulator game like this.
And we haven't done one in the whole 2 years of doing
no,
Freeloaders,
well, one hasn't really come up, has it?
No.
So, I mean, I've seen people play simulator games. I've seen, like, Airport Simulator, Airport Manager Simulator, Farm Simulator, I think it's a
Train
classic.
Simulator.
I mean, it seems to be, yeah, I mean, there are guys that actually drive trains, you know, in real time. And if you think about it, I suppose I have played simulator because I've done Flight Simulator, where I have actually flown aeroplanes a long time ago, but we're talking more than a decade ago.
But this is a specific group of games, isn't it? I think this is made by the same. Is this all made by the same studio? Things like Farming Simulator and so on.
I think that there is a difference between like Flight Simulator and a farming simulator or a grass simulator, for example, which is one I've seen.
With this same font choice, are they not all in the same family, the same studio of games?
I think they all actually are. So have you played any simulator? Have you played any of these simulator games?
Not from these people. Same as you, I've seen them be played on other YouTube channels, which I won't name because people might prefer them to us, or definitely will. But I've never wanted to actually spend money on anything like this. Like it's the kind of thing you'll see in a game shop and sort of smirk to yourself about, but not actually want to go and buy. So as you know, it's come up and it's already paid for as part of our subscription. Why not? Let's give it a go. Was my main thinking.
I just realised. I think I actually have seen this on a shelf in a game in a game shop.
Yeah, probably.
And I thought it was. I thought it was joke. just momentary. Because I've just remembered a picture of a goat with a blue sky looking out, and that means that people actually pay money for it. Well, I suppose it's a game. All right.
I suppose it's a game. That should be on the box. Shame it's not being released this year. I suppose it's a game.
Mike Papa Foxtrot says, I suppose it's a game.
5 stars. Time will tell. Shall we start simulating some goats?
Let's. I'm going to push X now and see what happens.
Okay,
and,
we got colts.
And the first thing I'm going to do is invert good, and then I'm going to adjust my volume.
There seem to be a lot of different game modes which are based on other games. So far left, you've got a crashed spaceship and a strange Stargate, and it's got Goat Simulator Waste of Space in a sort of Star Wars font. You've got Goat Simulator Payday, which doesn't instantly ring in any bells. Goat Zzz, which is before and after Outbreak, which is some kind of zombie goat game, I assume. Goatville, Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator Goat City Bay, which looks like it's a GTA parody. And Goat MMO, Goat Simulator MMO, like a
massively multi-online.
Yeah,
basically World of Warcraft meets goats.
Which I don't know how we go about this apart from going from left to right and just testing everything.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I've only just because one of the things I've noticed as well is that it says connect, which means that this is a party game.
Yes, that's
so you can have
true,
a few
I
other
would say.
people there. We shall. Oh, a glider. We'll have to look at the way see if we can connect over the network, but I don't know if that will actually.
What do you want to do first?
Well, let's see if any of these goats before. I see what you mean. Let's see if any of these would offer us an online. I don't think they are. I think this is purely an offline party thing.
Probably. Then.
I don't know. What do you fancy then?
Well,
what do you like?
I'm thinking the most vanilla option is probably Goat Simulator Waste of Space, because it's from left to right, and that's the only place I can actually see a goat on the map, where the crashed spaceship and the Stargate are. So shall we try the first option the game gives us and just see how far we get with this first impressions section?
You're right, I don't see a goat anywhere else. I'm now looking. I can see cows, and I can see, but I can't see a goat anywhere. There's people having a demonstration in the middle. Yes, waste of space. Then let's work out how to start the game. How do we start the game?
I don't know, because pressing X gives me downloadable content, which is probably just taken us out of sync for a second as it went back to my dashboard.
That's all right.
Pressing options? No. Don't press options. Options will
be
the
options. The only one that gives me play are Goat Simulator Goatville and Goat Simulator Goat City Bay.
Okay.
Everything else is expansion.
Well, shall we do Goatville then and see what happens?
Let's do Goatville. Pushing play now.
And we've got here's the moves. 4 things to remember: ragdoll, lick, sprint, and walk, or perfect landing. I will not remember those, but I'm sure it'll come naturally. I am a goat. I am walking around sideways badly in some grass, knocking over other goats.
Oh my god, it's...
And boxes. Smashing things.
I just licked a goat and it fell over.
So which one's lick? Oh, yep, I found it. And ragdoll, just to fucking collapse like one of those... sorry, my language is appalling already. One of those little thumb things.
Yeah.
Well, you know the little toys that have sort of... they're on like a stretched bit of elastic or something, and you press the bottom.
I like them. I do like them.
So licking goats makes them collapse. Oh, no, I just ran into him and he fell over anyway. I'm going up this spiral castle step thing, if I can. That's quite tricky. Lick goat. Oh! I fell off.
I'm just crashing into things.
What was the other button? So the... that's
I got out! I jumped over the wall. Okay, here we go.
Jump. But you don't have to jump, you just smash through the gate pretty much. Oh no, there we go.
Oh, I jumped over the wall. I love the slightly different styles that we have. Oh, I can chase this person.
Can I lick
this person?
Just lick everything, you get points. If you lick cars, they'll like, what's the word? Somersault. Well, that one
I am literally dragging a man around because apparently when you lick something, they ragdoll.
Wow, I've destroyed this barbecue. That guy's on fire. He's literally on fire, and so am I. So am I. I'm a burning goat with a melon stuck to my tongue, and now...
Oh! I just got run over.
This is...
I got literally hit by a car.
I'm going into this empty swimming pool.
Or a lorry, actually.
Oh my god. Yeah, the physics is interesting, isn't it?
I think that's the joke of it, because I think that's the thing with a lot of the simulators is that sometimes you can get the weird...
Are they just taking the mick out of themselves?
For example, there's a fascinating thing I'm looking at right now where there is a car and a truck that have morphed together, and I think it's being done on purpose.
Well, I will explain. You will see it when you edit both videos together. Oh, I've got a rocket pack. But I just licked a truck, and we both went flying in two different directions. I've gone through this truck.
I have just blown myself up in a petrol station.
Huh. Is it too late to download Uncharted?
It is, yes.
Okay. Fine, just good to know. What happens if I jump off a high thing and ragdoll in midair? Let's try that.
Like you said, we've never played anything like this before, so this is
no,
interesting.
I just did a weird somersault in midair. Everything explodes when I lick it.
Yeah, and also you get... I mean, this goat should be dead by all intensive purposes.
Mine's been on fire. His tongue is now stuck to something. It's stuck to a man. Just destroying people's parties right now. I'm on fire. I've run through a barbecue. Yep.
I am on fire. Oh, I've just found a rocket.
Yeah, I was one on a roof, wasn't there, as well? I just had strapped to me.
I found one in a barbecue.
Oh,
and
even
I'm
better.
Stuck to a chair. And I don't know where I am. Reach for the stars. I tell you what, though, I'm at some kind of satanic worship place.
That's about right. Then you're a goat.
Yeah, it's a bit creepy.
I'm going to take a big running jump dive over this swimming pool. No, that didn't work. There's a trampoline. There's a trampoline. Must try that again.
What a creepily weird game.
Yeah.
Oh. I mean, I think it is, like you say, tongue-in-cheek. It is a case of they are making fun of themselves. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm thinking of games that it's similar to, and basically simulators, and at the same time, no, because it's not. But it is, but it isn't.
Try timing your jumps on the trampoline so you keep getting higher and higher. That's quite good fun.
I'm trying to get over a wall at the moment. I'm trying to get into the swimming pool.
It has answered one of the questions that I had raised in my head, which we'll talk about in part 2 of games that it is similar to, which I will expand upon. Hopefully, I'll remember.
Oh, I see what you mean. There's a trampoline in the swimming pool.
My goat stopped running for a bit and started just dragging his bum along the floor like he was scratching it, like cats and dogs sometimes do. It was strange.
Well, if that's the strangest thing you've found so far, you've been very lucky.
Yeah. I think my strangeometer has been probably permanently corrupted anyway at some point. So
I can't stay on the trampoline, so I'm.
No, it's very difficult. I want to get my goat run over.
Oh yeah, I've already been roadkill.
Oh, someone on a roof. How are you up there? Why is human on roof?
How do you get out of the swimming pool? Can I use a ladder?
Yeah, sort of.
Oh yeah, I can.
Not well.
I mean, technically, I broke my neck doing that.
Yeah, but that's all right. Just press the ragdoll button, and then that happens anyway. Can I go through the greenhouse? Yeah, smashy, smashy. There's a ladder. I want to get on the roof. I'm stuck.
It is. You can see that this is a. I think getting stuck is by design in this game.
Yeah, true.
You can actually see that this is. They are obviously, an homage, make fun of yourself, kind of game, isn't it?
I guess. I'm just going to lick this woman until I get told that that's fine.
Would you like to travel to the next area?
Oh, where did you find that?
Hang on. I went into the tunnel.
Oh, okay. Off I go. Let's try that as well. My
I
tongue's
have to
stuck
say
someone.
that the menu, the shades of green between select and not select are very similar.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, travel to the next area. Here we go. Let's see what happens. Oh, you can bar with L1. I didn't realise that. Oh, there's new moves being advertised to me. Excellent.
I've come out of the other side of the tunnel. I went to the tunnel, I don't know which end it was. It was sort of towards the swimming pool, not the petrol station end. So we might have gone different ways. That would be interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I'm now at the bottom of a dam. There's a big reservoir dam and a town.
Yeah, that's where I am as well. Must have gone the same way.
Right, so we both went the same way. That's interesting.
Just hammer L1 3 times and you'll complete some kind of task for just going bar, bar, bar. Headbutt is R2, was it? Yep. I'm gonna headbutt a car. Whoa! Okay, I nearly went all the way back to the bloody tunnel then. Let's headbutt a man.
What's this? Multiplayer game. You need to be at least 2 players to play this game mode.
On the same console, I guess, then. He's continuing to drive with me on his bonnet. That's pretty good.
This is multiplayer. Oh, I found water.
Headbutt time.
Why don't you come in the water with me, mate? Come in.
I've got points for headbutting Marie.
How do I...
Don't headbutt cars. Or do. Whatever.
You get points for it.
Yeah. Broke glass. Broke the bus shelter. I'm going to go through here. The hotel.
Oh, it won't let me... I've got a beer bottle. That's why.
Well, I went into the hotel lift and now I'm in a roof party. Air headbutt table. Let's just headbutt everybody over here and bar at them while I'm doing it. That man is dead. He's gone over the roof. Ah! Murder! Over you go.
I was trying to drown it. I was trying to drown a guy in a swimming pool. I gave up. He decided it was callous.
Well, I've got some points for Wii fireworks because on the roof I got really high and I'm still falling.
Oh, nice.
Oh, goats bounce.
Let's go. Oh, can you go in the shop? Oh, I'm in the shop. Oh, I am literally a goat in a china shop. Yes. I mean, it's not actually a china shop, but it's close enough.
No.
I'm not. And the lady behind the counter doesn't seem to be angry about it, which is interesting.
Fine, aren't they? It's okay. It's okay. Everything will be fine.
Let's go and lick her. Let's go and lick her to say thank you.
Car park. Must destroy cars. Get on the big wheel. Oh, I don't care about the cars anymore. I want to go on the big wheel. I'll go to the fair. So this is the title screen town because this is the little fun fair that's in the front.
There's a roller coaster. I want to go on the roller coaster.
Yeah, knock an object really far. I just got something for.
Okay. What's nice is that you actually get points for just running at people. Oh, there's a bouncy castle. I found a bouncy castle.
Okay, so there is a. I don't know why I took it to that huge intake of breath, but there is there are some arcade machines on the beachfront fair, and Triangle. It's basically Flappy Goat. You're playing on the screen,
nice.
But it's very, very difficult.
Nice. Oh yeah, I can imagine. Oh, I was doing quite well there. I was bouncing on the bouncy castle.
Okay, well, I made it through the first obstacle, and anything after this is gravy, really. But, yeah, so are there different games? What's this guy playing? Box Pusher.
Oh yeah, don't lick power. Licking power doesn't seem to be good.
No, licking anything doesn't seem to be good. I wonder if I lick this guy, if he'll get off and I can play that game. Snake. Press triangle to start.
Do goats lick? I don't think they do.
Don't they eat
I don't
everything?
Think I've ever. I know they eat everything, but I don't think I've ever been licked by a goat. I'm just trying.
Oh, you haven't lived. I'm playing Snake currently on this arcade machine on the beach.
Oh,
that's interesting.
I found a goat rider.
This is out of context. There's going to be so many audio clips from this episode that will make absolutely no sense.
I have no idea what's going on then. I had a goat riding on me.
On you? Another goat?
Yeah, I'm literally... You just... Honestly, this is an episode that you have to watch.
Yeah.
Because it's... You know, I mean, the things you're saying, I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah.
I have now a person stuck on me.
I'm getting pretty high on this bouncy castle.
Oh yeah, I got quite high. Oh, you can change the person.
This is just madness. This is like being in an old people's home. If you couldn't see what we were playing, sounds like a Donald Trump press conference.
How do I get this person off me?
Oh, just press the lick button again. If they're stuck to your tongue, it's because you've licked them.
No,
Oh.
He's riding me because I've been on the bull thing. So
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go and get run over. That might do it.
Well, for first impressions, do we want to now go and test the other one that we could play? Because I think we've got the gist of this game mode.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I see what you mean. So actually, what you mean is wrap it up there.
Well, possibly. Just looking at the time that we've been just randomly causing damage in this little town.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, well, in that case, what we will do is we will go away and play a little bit more. And for us, it will be some time. And for you, it'll be pretty much instantaneous.
So, after spending some time in Goatville, Mike, what did you make of the game?
It's very samey, isn't it? I think that's one of the nicest things that I can say about it.
That is probably the nicest thing that you could have said.
It has a certain. I'm going to try and be the positive one, and I'm going to try.
Good luck. Well done.
It has an interesting and very unique charm.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
Interesting and unique charm. And to be honest, there are things in there that you can do. Like I was trying to do a bicycle race, and it took me a long time to work out how to balance the bike. So it's got things in there, but it's been deliberately. Well, I hope it's been done deliberately badly. I mean, you phase through things, the mechanics. I mean, I guess that's the idea. It's interesting. I think it's the word I'm going to use is interesting. I have to say, certainly not the worst game I've ever played, but quite low on the list.
Okay, well, let's break it down then. Let's go through our, by now, pretty standard criteria. Playability.
I noticed you haven't answered that question.
No, I'm going to be doing that through the next series of through the next series of criteria. Playability. Would you consider this a playable game? Or a massively broken on deliberately shit game.
Well, the thing is, I was hoping that it was the kind of game you could just pick up, run around, and have fun with, and come back to and find a new challenge and have fun with. And yeah, there were a couple of interesting things I found and did. But the thing is, there's nothing that will want me. I will not want to go back to this game again.
No.
There's nothing that says, come back. I want. There's nothing there because it's too. First of all, it's too frustrating because the mechanics have been deliberately badly engineered, and then there's nothing that makes me want to come back because there's nothing that I can't get somewhere else in another game, and yeah, that's basically it, really. I can imagine the charm. I mean, there were a couple of sort of challenges I tried, which were interesting and challenging, and they were difficult and frustrating, and I like to be frustrated, but they got to the point where it just became too frustrating. So things were too difficult, or things were just too easy. There was nothing in between, and random events like having your car, trying to do a bicycle ride, you're trying to do a bicycle race, and having the car drive by and snatch your bicycle and drag it away from you, and then you can't find the right bicycle. So because you can't find the right bicycle, you can't ever complete the bloody challenge. And that is almost it's almost funny and forgivable in Goat Simulator. I mean, it did happen. We did get stuck on a bicycle in another game recently, and that was less. I was less forgiving of that. But that kind of.
But that was a bike game. So
yeah. So, but no. Yes. What was the question?
Playability. To me, it appears to be. Obviously, it was created as a joke, which we covered in the intro, but it's deliberately unplayable to the point that obviously, right, it's you said it had a bit of a charm, and I think it does, but to me, it was amusing for maybe a few minutes, but. I like to think I've got quite an irreverent sense of humour. I like to think I quite like random weird shit weird stuff that just... some of it really appeals to me. I got a trophy. I got a couple of trophies, and the descriptions of the trophies...
Yeah, you were doing quite well with the trophy. I was getting a little bit jealous, to be honest.
I don't want any more, because if I get too many, I will feel the need to go and get them all. But the descriptions of the trophies did make me laugh. Things like, we are all in our own hell, let's stupid stuff like that. So I can see there is a sense of humour behind it. But there's just something about its deliberate broken nature that would make me sad if this had not been a quote unquote free game.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, it's a free game, and that's the only reason. I mean, if I'd have bought this, I would have been quite angry, I think. And if somebody had given it to me, I would wonder if they actually wanted to, you're not my friend anymore. Because
let's just say it is the right one to go up against something like the whole Uncharted series, because at least you know that you have got a game which is, critically lauded.
I think we have found the bottom of the barrel, I'll be honest. So far, if you put me in a room and said for the rest of your life you have to play either Goat Simulator or Bloodborne, Bloodborne's going to get played.
Oh God, yeah.
And going to get finished. And also that Neo would get finished. Suddenly, all of the games, all of the previous games, I'm sorry if I said anything bad about you, because that's the thing. It's but the thing is, like you said, this is designed to be a joke, and I mean, And I think that's where one of the things that concerned us when we were playing and was the downloadable content. I mean, because there are two levels that are identical.
Yeah, exactly.
And is the downloadable content identical? And are you paying for it? And like,
I don't want to sort of paint myself as some kind of like humorless, oh, you don't get it. You don't get it though. It's funny because of this. Yeah, I get it. It's funny. It is funny, but it's funny for a very short amount of time. It's the same joke being shouted at you again and again. And it's a bit like fart humor. It's very funny until the smell hits you, and that's the thing. It's that sort of thing, and the fun factor in there. Yeah, there was a momentary fun, but I mean, and don't take this the wrong way, 3T. Even when I'm struggling with some games, the game is made fun by the person you're playing with. Mm-hmm. But even here, even playing with you didn't help make this game more fun. This game was just, we found things that were interesting, and we directed each other to things that, like, have you found this? Have you found that? Have you found the other? But that it was more like we were really struggling to have fun. Well, I was struggling to have fun. So that's my fun factor. I also think that even if we had been able to do network play, it would have been very limited. It would have just been us wandering around doing the same stuff at the same time. So, nah. We've sort of skimmed over the hidden catches, but let's go back to that because I don't know if you've tried to check out the Goat Simulator Waste of Space or Payday or MMO or Goats we talked about. Very funny. They cost in UK currency £4.50 basically for each of those. So it's not included in this download, which is questionable decision. But also, would I spend £4.49 of my money to download any of these to potentially find that it's exactly the same as the other two? No, I wouldn't.
Well, I think one of the things that one of the warning signs that I had for this game, and we talked a little bit about it with Meztov, which you remember is a game we played last year, the one that you never know the name of, the energy drink game. We talked about how that was Meztov, obviously.
Meztov.
We talked about how that was a game that felt like it was designed or could be easily ported onto a mobile phone, and the warning sign here is it says mobile versions for Android and iOS, and that makes me think that this is that the thing is it's a little bit like a Soda Stream, or it's a little bit like these modern coffee makers with the capsules, or it's a little bit like color printers. The actual base unit itself is fairly cheap, but to run it is very expensive. And I think that's probably what the downloadable content here is, and that's why it's not free, because the actual platform, it's been given away because it's quite old. I mean, the game's 6 years old. Yeah. And still, I think it was €12 is what it was retailing for here. So €12 is, let's say £10. So £10 plus plus another £6. That's £26. I mean, you're already at a point where at 26, 30 quid, you can buy, maybe 3 reasonably good second-hand games that are 6 years old at that point. I think so. Yeah.
Well, let's we're thinking of that then. That'll be a nice, clean segue to if you did have that money and other games. What other games is it like? What would you say this is like? Because I've got one absolute contender for this.
Well, the problem is there's nothing like it because it's so badly done. I've not really played sim games. I suppose the last sim game, I was thinking about it. I have played Sim City, But it isn't SimCity because there's no.
It's not a sim game.
Logic.
It's a simulator by name only. I'll tell you what I'm thinking of is that obviously this was 2014, but the much better, much more polished, also available on PS4 if you want to spend some of the money, is Untitled Goose Game, which I've played on the Nintendo Switch. An Untitled Goose Game is a work of absolute art and genius, and it's the same essential premise except for you're a goose. But you've actually got things to do. So, not being too much of an advert for Untitled Goose Game, it is amazing because you've got a little pad and you've got things like steal the gardener's keys, lock the gardener out of his garden, make a picnic with his stuff, and that is fun because you've got goals and it's got a sense of humour. It's got a chaotic sense of humour. You're playing a goose who is just a nasty little piece of work, but it's really good fun, and because you've got challenges to do.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there were challenges to do in Goat Simulator, but they just weren't.
But there's no point to them.
No, and like you said, just moving gets you points. So it's a bit. I think the word is vapid.
Yeah. So what's it like? In spirit, potentially, it's a bit like Untitled Goose Game. But if you were going to get this or that, just spend the £12 to £15, whatever it may be, equivalent, on buy Untitled Goose Game.
I think I would power up my Nintendo Wii. I'd dust it off, and I'd rather play Rampage. It's just a pointless, mindless destruction game.
Destroy things. I tell you, I would if I had a copy of this game, I would probably just take a hammer to it. And get just as much pleasure out of that £12 than as I would do from playing the game.
No, not a hammer. It's lighter fluid and set it on fire.
No, I want to smash it.
Well, all right. Well, I'll set it on fire and then you smash it.
Smash its brittle remains.
Anyway.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's any point in saying what's it not like. It's not like any kind of polished, finished game you've ever played.
I don't. I always struggle with this in a lot of games, and I genuinely can't tell you what it's like and what it's not like. It's its own weird little niche as far as I can see, and I like your little recommendation. It's something to think about. Of course, I don't have a Nintendo Switch.
It's available on PS4 and Windows as well. Untitled Goose Game. I did double check. So that's what I mean. If you were prepared to play Goat Simulator and buy and spend even just money on 2 or 3 of the downloadable content, save it. Don't worry about this. Go and buy Untitled Goose Game because it's shorter. Well, I don't know if it's shorter because you've got a story to play, you've got goals, and actually it's a lot more fun honking and running around flapping your wings at people than it is randomly headbutting cars that will explode.
I think the problem with Goat Simulator is it has no story, it has no logic. It's just it's a sandbox, but it's a sandbox with nothing in it really. I mean. So, okay, we downloaded 3 gigs. This is 3 gigs. And do you think it was worth the space and the download?
I mean, I left it going overnight. It's certainly not worth the space. And if the microphone picks this up, this is the sound of me deleting it from my dashboard.
Oh. Well, I don't know. Again, this is me pushing that same button and doing the same thing.
It's certainly not worth. It's not. It wouldn't be worth. No, it's not worth anything.
No,
it's entirely worthless.
It's one of those. This is one of those rare times where, would I pay for it? No.
No.
I just wouldn't. Did I? Have I regretted downloading it? Yes, I think I have, and this is very difficult because I find it. I struggle to be quite negative about things, and I've tried to find positive things to say about it. But like I said, bottom of the barrel, I think it's one of the worst games that I've ever actually played on the PlayStation 4. And I struggle to think of anything worse than it on any console I have ever played.
Yeah.
And that wasn't a PlayStation, one of the pop station things, the actual little deep deep
I don't know. There's
kind of.
probably more value to those. I would say eventually, because at least again you're achieving something. This is, I don't know. We're probably going to come across as really humorless, but
well, no. Well, I am. I've got no sense of humour. I'm an old man and I don't care. So basically, you wouldn't pay for it either.
No, I would not, and I would definitely urge people not to pay for it. If you're curious, this is the month to download it if you've got your PlayStation Plus account. But if you are looking for an anarchic game where you get to go and cause trouble, but actually get some pleasure out of it as an animal, Untitled Goose Game. This is not a paid-for presentation, but I think you will get a lot more out of your £12 to £15 of game if you went with something that actually had a little bit of... You used the word charming to describe the sense of humour. There is no charm in this, but the other game I have mentioned is absolutely full of charm and wit and just lovely gameplay. So that's all I want to say, really. This is awful. Welcome to 2020. It's all downhill from here.
At least next month it's got to be better. And with
go and download Uncharted.
And with that, this is Mike Papa Foxtrot.
And this is 3T, and we were looking at Goat Simulator, although, God, I wish we hadn't. Currently freeloadable from PlayStation Network in January 2020.